A very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to class 12th economics period of St. Lawrence. Today is 3rd July. So before we start the class, I think it's time for the meditation first for 2 minutes. Then we'll be starting the class once the meditation is done. All right. So just be in Gyan Mudra, close your eyes and do the meditation for 2 minutes, please. Thank you so much. So let's start our class today. I'm sharing the screen of the chapter. Can anybody tell me that what we had covered yesterday in last class? What topics till now for the period 1950 to 1990 we have covered? And what will be our next topic, right? Although you all know, got the screen that what we had covered yesterday? Yes. Mitali is saying the next topic is modernization. Okay, good. In the last topic, we covered the difference between these three types of economies when it comes to capitalist economy, socialist economy, or mixed economy. So we have already covered its meanings and difference based on various types. So I'm not taking it again because already we had revised this concept for almost 2-3 times. So moving further, coming forward to the next topic, I told you that in the 1950, okay, which commission was formed in 1950? Anji, बताइए. Which commission was formed in 1950? Planning Commission. Very good. Many of you have already given the answer in the chat box. So many students have written the planning commission, so I can't take all names altogether. Planning commission, which was started in 1950. And can anybody tell me what was the main aim of planning commission? Why this organization, why this setup was organized, why this basically planning commission was set up in 1950? What was the reason to set up planning commission in India? Priyanshi is saying for making our economy developed, for converting underdeveloped to developing. Toshit, it gave 5-year plans. They were to take major decisions. Rajan, Gurnur, Abhishek. Okay, everybody is giving their answers. Good. It's really a good thing that you people are initiating. Saksham wants to say something. Yes, Saksham. I'm unmuting you, Saksham.
The planning was set up for making policies which help in the economic growth of a country.
Okay. So basically, planning commission was basically formed for making policies in India. As you can see, the suggestive name, the planning commission, which means the major task of this commission is to make plan. But why plan was required in India? I told you that we were an underdeveloped economy. Under the British regime, all our agriculture, our industries, our infrastructure, foreign trade, demography, सब कुछ खराब थी. So we were in a position that we have to revive our economy, to grow our economy, and to make our country developed. It was required to shift from underdeveloped to developing stage. And if there is no plan, there is no objective, right? You agree with my point or not? If there is no plan, there is no objective. If there is objective, you make a plan to achieve that objective. वाह, quote of the day हो गया ये तो. So अगर आपको लग रहा है you want to achieve an objective, yes, you want to achieve an objective, you have to make a plan, because without objective and without plan, the objective cannot be fulfilled. All right. तो आपके सामने स्क्रीन पे है 5-year plans. The very first 5-year plan, as you can see, was formed in 1951, right? And 5-year के लिए चला till 1956. Now, very important concept, because if this concept you will be able to get, then definitely it will be easy for you to capture the other. I'm marking that. See, the thing which I'm doing circle, this column, the third column, this is actually the main focus, or if we say, this is actually the objectives. These are the objectives of these plans. कैसे? जैसे first 5-year plan which came in 1951, the first 5-year plan which came in India in 1951, 5-year था तो of course 56 तक चला. Its main objective was development of primary sector. Please hold on here. Its main objective was development of primary sector. पहली बात तो ये, you don't need to learn all this. No need to learn all this. This is just for the information, where I am telling you that when did the first 5-year plan started and for which tenure, what was its objective. Same way second, third, fourth and so on. No need to learn all that. The thing which you want for the exam purpose, I will let you know time to time. But this is for the basic knowledge, because if this knowledge would not be there with you, you will not be knowing what are the long-term objectives and how these long-term objectives are different from these objectives which are written in the box, red box. So first 5-year plan started in 1951 to 1956 for 5 years. its main objective was development of primary sector. For example, if BJP, जैसे BJP government entered India once again as a ruling party in 2014, and in 2014, when they entered as a ruling party in India, they gave us basically a scenario that what they actually want to do, what they actually want to do for the next 5 years, which means that will be the short term plan. Likewise, in 1951, the short term plan was development of primary sector. I hope abhi aap log samajh gaye that what is short term plan. Short term plan means planning just for the next upcoming 5 years. Planning for the next upcoming 5 years. That is short term plan. Same way, second 5-year plan, 1956 mein aaya for 5 years, and its main objective was industrial development and development of public sector, which means in the second plan, we focused upon industrial sector. In the third plan, we focused upon overall development, right? So first 3 plans, I think you all are aware of now. You can see that what were the short-term goals or short-term plans for these things. All right. Now, coming to the plan holidays, as you can see here, 1966 to 1969 plan holidays. ये क्या था? Plan holidays मतलब क्या 3 years तक कोई planning नहीं हुआ? तो let me tell you. वॉर हुआ इस बीच. कैन एनीबडी टेल मी किसके साथ वॉर हुआ था 1961 से? अगर हम बात करते हैं तो 1961 के आसपास किसके साथ वॉर हुआ था इंडिया का? वेरी गुड, चाइना. चाइना के साथ वॉर हुआ इंडिया का. आजम इज सेइंग पाकिस्तान. आजम पाकिस्तान के साथ भी हुआ था, बट वो थोड़े टाइम बाद हुआ था. आई विल टेल यू. चाइना के साथ वॉर हुआ इस बीच. और क्या हम उस टाइम पे उस वॉर में वी वॉन और नॉट? यस, गेटिंग आंसर्स इन चैट बॉक्स. बिल्कुल सही जवाब. हम वो वॉर नहीं जीते, एंड अल्टीमेटली उस टाइम पे हमारी प्लानिंग जो थी उस टाइम के लिए वो फेल हो गई. इसलिए हमें प्लान हॉलीडेज करने पड़े. प्लान हॉलीडेज मतलब we were not making plan for the future now. हमें जो पुराना हमारा लॉस हुआ, we had to revive that loss. That's why there was plan holidays. So ultimately you don't have to just learn out all these things. You just have to know in your mind that these objectives which we are watching out on the extreme right side with the heading main focus or objectives, these were the short-term objectives. These were the short-term objectives. Short-term objective means these are the objectives just for the short period, for the 5-year only. But my question to you, that the planning commission which gave us the main objectives, that whatever government comes into the power, these 5 long-term objectives they have to follow. So these are the long period objectives which you can now see in front of your screen. These are the 5 long-term objectives. Long-term objectives means ये वो objectives हैं जो सिर्फ 5 years के लिए नहीं है, आने वाले सिर्फ 5 years के लिए नहीं है, ये long term के लिए है. To make our economy developed, for going on the path of development. This is for that purpose. I hope now the difference between short-term plans and long-term plans are clear to you all. Is it clear to everybody that now what are the short-term plans and what are the long-term plans? Long-term plans is not for just for the period of 5 years. No, it's not just for the period of 5 years. Long-term plans are the long period objectives. But short-term plans which we have just seen, these are the short-term period plan which are there for the upcoming 5 years only. Is it clear to all? Okay, fine. Moving further, if I tell you the next topic, that is, the next topic comes out to be about these 5-year plans only. So now we are yes, so talking about the first objective, which we had already covered yesterday. Economic growth or GDP growth. Very good. Now tell me, who is going to explain me the GDP growth? Who is going to explain me the GDP growth? I am going to unmute someone. Okay, let me unmute Toshit. Yes, Toshit, over to you. Toshit, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
So which first objective we covered yesterday, and what was the main content of that objective?
Okay. So we have covered the first objective, which is growth. So as we know that during the British rule, our country's economy was stagnant and backward. So to revive the economy, the first step was growth. So basically, growth refers to the increase in the country's capacity of producing goods and services within the year.
Okay.
Which means GDP, that is gross domestic product, which refers to
Fine.
all the final goods and services produced within the country during the 1 year. And
why
yes,
was this growth was taken as a long-term objective? Can you tell me what can be the possible reasons behind this? Economic growth or GDP growth, why it was taken as a long-term objective?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay, no problem. Saksham wants to say. Yes, Saksham.
Sir, in my opinion, increase in GDP is directly proportional to development of country.
Very good. Because if GDP will rise, then definitely our scope of having more and more income will increase. And once government starts getting more and more income, definitely in that case, government is going to spend more on the investment of the country, in the investment in the country. And as a result, government is going to invest more amount in the development of the country or development of the economy, right? So when we say that GDP growth, then I'll say that GDP have been considered as a first long-term objective. This is growth or increase in GDP. What is GDP? GDP is gross domestic product, which means the total money value of all goods and services, the total money value of all goods and services which we can produce in our economy. That is known as GDP, right? And ultimately, if GDP will be more, then that means production is more. We will sell more commodities. We will not only sell in the domestic market, we will be selling in the international market also in the form of exports. We will be getting more income, right? Generation of income will increase. And if generation of income will increase, if government starts getting more income, government is going to invest more in the economy. And ultimately, when investment is more there in the economy, the development of the economy will be increasing. All right. So ultimately, we simply say that the first major objective in Indian Planning Commission was growth or GDP growth. I hope that is clear to everybody. So let's moving towards the next second objective. The second objective which we see is modernization. So next objective we are talking about is modernization. Now modernization means modernizing the things with the use of new technology. Already we all know that there was a lack of modern technologies in India. If we talk about the techniques, if we talk about the other things, we were lacking in India on the eve of independence. And even we were not able to reduce the cost of our production, right? And we were not able to compete with the international brands as well, because they people were using the capital intensive techniques. They people were using the machinery intensive techniques. And with the machinery, with the involvement of machinery, they were actually producing more faster and even with at the reduced cost. Therefore, modernization हमारी इकोनॉमी के लिए एक मेजर कॉन्सेप्ट बन चुका था. We had to modernize everything in India. Not only the technologies, not only the technologies, but also there was need to modernize the social outlook and the cultural life of people. So modernization we have to study in two ways. Modernization we have to study in two ways. First of all, modernization means there should be some modern changes in the way of technology. For example, if we talk about the agriculture, there should be some modernized things in the agriculture as well, right? There should be some pesticides, new modern techniques of irrigation, new modern techniques of cultivation, new modern techniques by which we can use or we can put seeds into the production. So there should be some modern innovative ideas involved in the agriculture field. Not only in the agriculture field, you all know that on the eve of independence, if we talk about the industries, then I already told you in the last chapter that we were lacking capital goods industries in India, right? We were lacking capital goods industries in India. Because we were lacking capital goods industries in India, then definitely we were dependent on the other countries for the capital goods, such as we had to import the machineries from others, right? When we had to import the machineries from others, then definitely it would हमें cost क्या कर रहा था? It was increasing our cost. Definitely वो बहुत ज़्यादा expenditure हमारे इंडिया के लिए create कर रहा था. So modernization was required. That is adoption of new technology in all fields, in the machine field also, and not only in the machine or mechanical field, but also it refers to change in social outlook, right? There should be a social outlook change also. For example, if we talk about the societies, जो उस टाइम की societies की हम अगर बात करें, तो definitely उस टाइम पे women को education literacy rate नहीं ज़्यादा, women को literacy नहीं करवाई जाती थी. There were some barriers given by the society only that women will not get education. They will not work outside. They will just do the household activities only. They would not be the part of the economic activities. So there was a need to change the social outlook also, that women should also go for work outside. They should also work outside. They should also participate in the economic activities, in the financial activities in the society. They should also be the part of the employment of the economy. So not only that we had to work for the modern techniques, but there was a need to work for the social outlook as well. हमें social outlook के लिए भी change करना था अपने आप को. So modernization comes into two ways. One is the technological modernization, when we are talking about in the field of technologies, and the second is the social outlook change modernization, like to make our society more modern. To make our society more modern. China को देख लो. China is the communist economy, but it has turned itself into modern communist economy. Although China has a one party rule, it is the communist economy ever in the world where there is only one party rule system. You cannot even speak anything in your country without the permission of government on national television, right? But they have changed themselves into modern communism or modern communist party system. So that should be thing, that we should have a modernization in the ways of technology, but not in only the technology, but also in the social outlook of people. I hope I'm clear with the second point, that is modernization. Is it clear to everybody? Modernization also as a second long-term objectives given by the Indian planning system to us. Shall I move toward the next third objective, third long-term objective? The second one is clear to all? Okay. Please show me your digital thumb. We have a system now by giving the reactions. as I just gave. So just show me a digital thumb so that it would give me motivation to move on to my next point. Otherwise, if you face any doubt, you can just ask me. Fine, very good. Okay, now moving towards the third point. The third long-term objective, which you are able to see on your screen, self-reliance. We are already aware of. आजकल self-reliance ही चल रहा है. कोई बता सकता मुझे self-reliance कैसे आजकल इतना famous हो रहा है? During COVID-19, self-reliance. Modi ji always comes on TV and asks about self-reliance. हाँ, कुछ आया याद? Very good. Vocal, बताओ पूरा कंप्लीट करो इस टैगलाइन को. वोकल, वोकल के आगे फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स. वेरी गुड. वैभव ने बता दिया, नमन ने, थीरा ने, अनुष्का बंसल, कोठारी, तुषार शर्मा, पार्थ पंचारिया. वेरी गुड. वोकल फॉर लोकल. दिस इज द सेल्फ रिलायंस. देख रहे हो, तब का ऑब्जेक्टिव अभी तक पूरा नहीं हो पाया. इसीलिए था ये लॉन्ग टर्म ऑब्जेक्टिव, क्योंकि हमें पता था कितने भी साल हो जाए इकोनॉमी में, हमें ये लंबे टाइम तक लेकर चलने हैं. इसलिए इनको बोला गया लॉन्ग टर्म ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, नॉट ओनली फॉर द 5 years. वोकल फॉर लोकल, द थर्ड ऑब्जेक्टिव. अब इसको वोकल फॉर लोकल मत लिख देना, दिस इज सेल्फ रिलायंस. ठीक है, सेल्फ रिलायंस. सेल्फ रिलायंस मीन्स when we are relying on ourselves, which means we are not depending on external help, right? When we are not depending upon external help. Swadeshi apnao. Very good. Good to see. Swadeshi apnao. This is the thing. Actually, this is the another major objective, which will definitely bring our economy to a developed stage. Because a nation can promote economic growth and modernization by using its own resources or by using resources imported from other nations. If I want to be modernized in my country, then modernization can be done by two things. First thing, you can use your own resource which are available in your country, or you can show the modernization by importing the resources from the other country, right? Self-reliance means relying on yourself only. So this is the major objective given by the Planning Commission in the Indian planning system, that we should be Atmanirbhar. We should try to minimize the imports from the other countries. Why we are importing from other? What is the need for importing from other country? That means we are not making in our own country. That means we are not making that particular thing in our own country. Two reasons can be there. Because we have lack of resources, because the resources which are required to make that particular thing, we don't have that resource. Or maybe we are doing the less production. Because we are doing the less production, then ultimately as per the demand, the supply is less. Ultimately we have to depend on the outside external help. So the third major 5-year plan comes out to be the self-reliant, that please be self-reliant. Don't depend on the external help. We should definitely try to make more and more commodities in our own country. And making more and more commodities in our own country means we are not going to get those things from the outside, right? We will not be getting the things from the external countries. और इतना बनाओ कि अपनी domestic में तो needs पूरी हो जाएं. The domestic needs, the domestic demands are fulfilled. But not only the domestic demands are fulfilled, even the production should be so vast that you are able to export it to other countries. Take the example of PPE kit, which we started producing. India mein, before COVID-19, there was not even a single PPE kit which we were making. Not even a single PPE kit. But now we are in a position that when we showed the objective of self-reliant, we are not only just producing it for our own country, but even we started exporting PPE kit to other countries. This should be the economic objective which we people are doing now. So self-reliance, I hope it is clear to everybody. So this objective, self-reliance, is clear. The long-term, the third long-term objective given by the Indian planning system. Fine. Now moving towards the next one. Full employment. The fourth objective. Full employment. So this is the fourth long-term objective set up by Indian planning system. Full employment. Can anybody tell me the meaning of employment? That what is meant by employment? Can anybody tell me the meaning of employment? That what is meant by employment? Raise your hands so that I will ask questions from you people only. Why only Saksham is raising hands always? Divya, raise your hand. I would like to ask this question from you. Divya. Okay, Divya, unmuted from my side.
Yes, sir.
What is meant by employment?
Sir, employment means that everyone has a source to earn
Okay.
a livelihood.
Then what do you think that what is full employment means here?
Full employment means each and everyone has a source of livelihood, because in India there are so many people who are poor and they are very much मतलब वो बहुत ज़्यादा गरीब है और उनके पास काम नहीं है इस वजह से.
Okay, fine, good. Mute yourself. Full employment. See, if I talk about the full employment situation, first of all, full employment means everybody who is willing to work is getting the job from the government. For example, there are 10 people in the society. There are 10 people in the society and they are willing to work in the society, and the prevailing wage rate which they expect from the society, they are ready to work on that and they are working. This is called full employment, where everybody is employed, everyone is employed, nobody is unemployed. जहाँ पे unemployed तो है ही नहीं कोई, everybody is employed. This is the objective, this is the long term objective of India, full employment. अभी मैं आपको एक situation और दे रहा हूँ. There are 10 people. The government is providing them job at rupees 30,000 per month according to their knowledge, skills, education, etc. 7 out of them have opted for employed under government. 3 said that we are not ready to work at the rate 30,000 per month with the government. Is it the situation of full employment or not? Write in the chat box, please. They were saying no, it is not the situation of full employment. Anybody else? Kaushik is saying no, Deepak is saying no. Thira, sir, please repeat the question. Your voice was breaking. Okay, I repeat the question, Thira. My question is, if there are 10 people in the society, they are getting job from the government at 30,000 per month. 7 of them have already opted for the job to be done with the government, but 3 said we are not doing job at the rate 30,000 per month. 7 are working, 3 are not working, although 10 ke 10 ko job mil rahi thi. Is it the situation of full employment? Yes, very good. It is the situation of full employment. Those who are saying no, please rectify this. I tell you why it is the situation of full employment. When government is providing the job, as per your knowledge, your education, your skills, but you are not doing the job because you are not willing to do the job at the prevailing wage rate. This is your problem, not government's problem, because government is ready to give you the job. You are not working. In the eyes of government, you are employed. In the eyes of government, you are employed. So it is the situation of full employment. मैं फिर बता दूं, full employment does not mean zero unemployment. Please note down this line. Maybe you will not get it in many books. Full employment situation does not mean zero unemployment. Full employment का मतलब zero unemployment नहीं होता. Full employment का मतलब है the people who are willing to work, who are able and willing to work at the prevailing wage rate, they are getting the job from the government. They are getting the job in the economy and they are working. It is known as full employment. It is known as full employment. I hope this is clear to all. So ultimately, the people who are ready to work, who are able and willing to work, ready to work at the prevailing wage rate, and the people are working, that is situation. The situation is known as full employment. But full employment does not mean zero unemployment. Acha, tell me, as you know, which country gives the unemployment allowance? Tell me, which country gives the unemployment allowance? Write in the chat box. USA. Very good. Got answers from almost 10-15. Very 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 good. USA. फटाफट आंसर आया सबका. तो यूएसए अच्छा ऐसे ही आपको दे देगी अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अलाउंस. यूएसए कह रही है कि सपोज अमेरिका ने कहा कि वी आर गिविंग यू जॉब and you have to do job, we are providing you, then please start doing the job. You are saying no, I'm not doing job, please give me unemployment allowance, and USA will give it. USA नहीं कहेगा I am providing you the job, I am providing you the job, you should work there, why you are asking for the unemployment allowance? Then tell me in which case USA is going to give the unemployment allowance to its persons. When government is not able to give the job. Very good, Toshit. When government is not able to give the job, then USA is going to give the unemployment allowance to people, to the persons residing in USA. When they people want to work, they are able to work, but USA is not in a position to provide them the job. In that case, we say that yes, USA has to give the unemployment allowance. So full employment simply means when everybody who is willing, जिसका मन कर रहा है काम करने का, and is able, जो काम करने के लायक भी है, and is getting the job, और उसको काम मिल रहा है, वो काम कर रहा है, the situation is known as full employment. But full employment does not mean zero unemployment. I hope I am clear with my words. So these 4 objectives we have covered today: GDP growth, modernization, self-reliance, full employment. Tomorrow, first of all, I would like to listen these 4 things from you people, then I will start with the next one. So kindly revise all these things. Already? All right? Yes, Thira. Yes, Thira, you're right. So I think time is even less than 1 minute. It would be cut over any time. Tomorrow we have class, Toshit. Tomorrow we have class. Now Monday to Saturday. Only Sunday is off.